All right, guys, this is your brand. This is your brand. This is your breakfast with the brand. I am your host, Sean Rais. Extremely excited this morning because we have a special guest. That's right, we have a special guest this morning. Bobby Jackson, how you feeling, brother?
Feeling phenomenal, coach. Feeling phenomenal. I wrote down until you redefine, you will remain misaligned. That's what I was feeling this morning as I personally was exhausted. I was exhausted. Like when I tell you all I've been grinding, man, if you're not grinding, then you might be doing something wrong. And I had to say to myself, this isn't exhaustion. This can be exhaustion, because if this is my definition of exhaustion and this is what's required, then I might tell myself I'm tired. And if I don't redefine this definition of exhaustion, then I'm going to remain misaligned from what I'm trying to achieve. So I woke up and said, okay, I got to redefine tired. I've got to redefine this. So that's how I'm feeling this morning. I've got coffee this morning. Like normally I'll have like some water or something. I got the coffee. I'm drinking the coffee this morning. It's not drinking me.
Okay. So guys, listen, I want you to think about how you're feeling now. I let the intro play a couple different times because it is Monday, right? It is Monday. So I know sometimes people need a little bit more time to get going, right? So I want you to think, what is changing? What is changing from now until the end of this month? Because last month, that was the very first month of the year. So now you should be catching your stride. Now you should be more feet on the ground, more aligned. And I think Bobby Jackson is kind of feeling that recoil and that pushback from the most phenomenal opportunity that you have this year, 2024. What's going to change? What's going to change this month for you? Everybody doesn't always start the right way. That's okay. No problem at all. Watch this. You've got another opportunity. You have another opportunity, and it starts right now. This is the Breakfast with the Brand, and we'll be right back. There's slow growth, and then there's scale. There's incremental growth, and then there's exponential growth. What I want to talk to you about is adding a zero to you and experiencing exponential scale. Incremental growth says 1 + 1 is 2. Exponential growth says 1 + 0 is 10. Incremental growth says 2 + 2 is 4. Exponential growth says 5 + 0 is 50. Guys, listen, when you add a zero to you, you can add a zero to the marketplace. You can add a zero to the value that you bring. So you can add a zero to your family, add a zero to your legacy. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about incremental, we're talking about exponential. I always say that business is a spiritual game. Just imagine when you combine your skills, your values, your abilities, your talents to something bigger than you, something greater than you, something like the power of exponential. That is adding a zero. Add a zero to your competence, add a zero to your confidence. This is about adding a zero in your life, your value, your industry, and your mission. Let's grow. The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaway just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
All right, guys. So listen, we're going to get into it now, and we're going to go deep from the very beginning. So this is what going deep from the very beginning looks like. Do you have brand clarity? Do you have brand clarity? Can you say that you possess Brand clarity. Do you even know what brand clarity is? That's a real question. I want you to think. Do I have brand clarity? Because if you have brand clarity, then it's easy to communicate your value. It's easy to communicate your value. It's easy to add a 0 to your number. It's so easy to convince someone to do business with you if you have brand clarity. Now, if you do not have brand clarity, then you don't know how to speak to people about what you do. You don't know really who you are, how you serve, or who you help. So you're kind of trying to help everybody and hoping that it works out. But at the end, it never really does. And it leaves you a little bit confused because you don't have brand clarity. Talk about that, the importance of that brand clarity for a moment, Bobby.
Absolutely. I remember trying to help everybody until I heard you say something. You said, if you're for everybody, you're for nobody. Like
That's
you're
right.
for nobody. And I remember changing my offering every time I changed a call. Like before it was the blue shirt, blue tie, I changed my offering as I changed my clothes. And what I realized was I didn't have a system. I didn't have a system for how I was approaching people. And one of the bigger blunders in my earlier career as an entrepreneur was when I hired an appointment setting team, but I did not have an offer that was well branded and refined. And I'm going to tell you exactly what many of you all have probably done. Many of you all have probably saw the person that says, do you want to get more appointments? We'll set 15 appointments a week, filling your calendar. You'll never have to worry about this again. How would that sound? You clicked on everything. You went through the funnel before you knew it. You said life would change for me if I just had 15. You see, at this point, you've probably got on a call, you've closed a deal before, and you've got money in, and you're still trying to fit. So in your mind, you're like, all I need is more set. All I need is more DCs, discovery calls, and I'll make it. But not knowing the quality and importance of brand clarity. So as I wrap this up, I want to let you know what happened to me and what's probably happening to you right now. So I went through the funnel, I did everything, and I said, yeah, come on in and give me the 15 appointments a day. First and foremost, I never in the tenure, and this was a multiple 4-figure investment, I never got what I asked for, what they told me I was going to get. 15 appointments set, never happened. Also, when I said, hey, this has been a breach of contract, you guys didn't do what you said you were going to do, they said, well, you didn't have the clarity that we thought you had. Now, granted, they didn't say it that way, but they pretty much said, we didn't know how to source the right lead. So our people were sourcing so many different leads that it was hit or miss. And it was a learning experience. So brand clarity from personal experience, financial loss experience is you cannot buy brand clarity. You've got to Sean, could you help me out? Like, you know what I'm trying to, it's not something that you can just go out and say, hey, make my brand clear for me. It's an experience you have to go through.
It's a process, guys. This is what Bobby is trying to explain. He's trying to explain the process. So again, guys, this is not your motivational session. This is your evidence-based session. If you're here, you're already motivated. The bell already rang. You already showed up. You've got a business. You want to scale. You know who you want to serve. You know why you're doing it. That's not who we are. We are the Breakfast with the Brand. So here you're going to learn evidence-based principles to help you do exactly what you're looking for, which is make more sales, grow your business, hire more people, figure it out. Figure it out. You got to figure out how to get out of the bed on your own. Like, that's your piece. My piece is helping you get that brand clarity so that you know who you are. Number one. Number two, who you serve. Number 3, how you help them. And number 4, how to tie it all together so that it makes sense, put a bow on it, and add a 0 to it. And that's what I mean when I say that we have a special guest. Now, those of you who know that you've been coming here for years, you've never seen me do this. You have never seen me do this. However, what Bobby Jackson said can't be bought actually can. So I want you to watch this video and I want you to think about what I'm going to tell you in this video. And then I'm going to give you the opportunity to purchase Brand Clarity this morning so that by 12 o'clock this afternoon, 1 o'clock this afternoon, you know exactly who you are, who you serve, how you help them, what the messaging needs to be, how you can tie it together, put a bow on it, and add a 0 to it. We'll be right back. This is The Breakfast with the Brand. In Brand Clarity, exactly what you're going to get is what it sounds like. Clarity for your brand. What is your color? What is your logo? What is your unique value proposition? Who are you speaking to? Why? How should you speak to them? How should I position myself? That's what you're going to learn in Brand Clarity. You need other people to have the same clarity on your brand that you do. But this is the gap. If you don't have clarity on your brand, then no one else is going to have clarity on your brand either. It's like messaging. Your message sounds clear to you, but is your end user receiving the value that you're trying to provide? I guarantee you that after you go through Brand Clarity, they will, and so will you. And that's how you'll scale your brand. It's very important that you know yourself to the highest degree possible, because it's through knowing ourselves that we're able to know other people. You are the most important person in the room, and the better that you know yourself, the better that you're able to communicate to others. So you're not only playing the game knowing who you are, but you're also playing the game knowing who everyone else is, so that you're not playing blind.
He's extremely engaging with people. He has a fantastic smile, and he's just very high energy person.
This is called leadership development. So we have to be independently knowledgeable and considerate to know who we are so we can more effectively know who other people are. As the leader, it's your responsibility to allocate resources in the right places. If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you're losing the battle. I said Sean Ra'is. I'm proud. I said Sean Ra'is. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire, heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Sean, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and you know, game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold in your beliefs.
He has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a 0 behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes. In Brand Clarity, exactly what you're going to get is what it sounds like. Clarity for your brand. What is your color? What is your logo? What is your unique value proposition? Who are you speaking to? Why? How should you speak to them? How should I position myself? That's what you're going to learn in Brand Clarity. You need other people to have the same clarity on your brand that you do. But this is the gap. If you don't have clarity on your brand, then no one else is going to have clarity on your brand either. It's like messaging. Your message sounds clear to you, but is your end user receiving the value that you're trying to provide? I guarantee you that after you go through brand clarity, they will, and so will you. And that's how you'll scale your brand. So again, guys, every single thing boils down to effective communication. Effective communication. If you don't know who you serve, how can you serve them? How can you draw up the messaging if you don't know who your ideal target is, your ideal client? If you don't know who you're speaking to, if you don't know how you serve them, if you don't know really what you're doing or how you're going to do it, it's very hard to grow confusion. It's very hard to grow confusion. What you're looking to do is grow a business, and business starts with brand clarity. Business begins with brand clarity. Who are you? Who do you serve? How do you help them? Who are you? Who do you serve? And how do you help them? You know when this is clear because it works. And you know when it's not clear because it doesn't. It looks like you're running in circles. You're having sales calls with people who are unqualified. Or you're having sales calls with people who are qualified, but they're saying no to you. Now that's even worse. One thing is to have somebody on the call who's unqualified. Another thing is to have somebody on the call who you know is qualified, but they say no to you and yes to someone else. The person they say yes to has brand clarity. You need brand clarity in order to be successful in your business. So what we did is we kind of broke apart. We broke apart one of our internal trainings on brand clarity. And I said, listen, guys, the thing that people suffer with the most, there's like 9 different things that you guys need to understand. Brand clarity is the first one. Who your ideal client is the second one. You need a system to market. You need a marketing system. Mandatory. This is a part of a marketing system. Yes, this is a podcast. Yes, this is us coming together to give you guys massive value for free, but this is also a marketing system. It's a marketing component. This is a component in a strategy. Just so that you guys understand, when you see certain things in the marketplace and you wonder, what is this? Why are they doing this? It's all a part of a plan. And plans begin with brand clarity. You have to know where you're going or your plans won't work. So what I wanted to do today is come bearing gifts. If you're serious about building your brand, building your business, then the first thing you're going to need is brand clarity. We don't do low ticket. I've never done low ticket. I began out the gate with high ticket. But I said, you know what? It's a necessity. It's highly requested, and it's a necessity for you to understand and have brand clarity so your messaging can get better, so your positioning can get better, so you know who you are, who you serve, how you serve them, and what is the communication level. How do you need to communicate with them? So I said, you know what, guys? We're gonna do something a little bit different in 2024. We're gonna do something a little bit different because I want to help people that the price point has kept me unable to help before. So this is the first part, and you just let me know what your thoughts are. But I guarantee this. This is my guarantee. No motivation, no hype, no hyperbole. If you take this today, you'll be a different person tomorrow. That's a fact.
You know, I just want to edify this really quickly because I went through branded like a leader. I went through speaking like a leader, coaching like a leader. I've gone through everything that has been, to my knowledge, coursified, right? I know that's not a word, but I've been, right? And I've made exponential progress. But this is one thing that I will say. on various courses and calls, different people made money before the end of the course. I'll say that again. We would start an 8-week course, and almost without fail, each week, if someone was executing at a super high level, they came back with cash and a testimony. So if this is a piece of something that we experienced when we went through the fire hose of information and transformation, like if this is a piece of it, I guarantee you work it, it'll work. Because I was one of those people that was going through, I feel like I made money every course. Like every course we went through, I made money. Branded like a leader, I made money. Coaching like a leader, I made money. And then because I think it was like 2 or 3 courses, I've been with the brand for 3 years now, and I've gone through, I believe, all 7 of the courses. And every 3 courses, I had like a 100 or 200% revenue increase. And my annual revenue increase has been 400%. So I just wanted to edify this because I have lived it. And through the living and execution of the information that I've gained, the results have changed my tax bracket, retired my wife, bought my home, put my kids in private schools, and helped me walk away from the military and the workforce entirely. Incredible.
This is brand clarity. You're going to have to learn this one way or the other, right? So one way or the other, you're going to need brand clarity. The thing is, are you going to shorten the learning curve? Are you going to shorten the learning curve and learn from someone who's done it and has it and has been trying to give it to you over and over again, just hasn't actually packaged it and put it together into a smaller ticket item, which is what you're looking at right here, right? So again, guys, listen, you need to know who you are, who you serve, how you serve them. And you can write that down. Who you are, who you serve, how you serve them. But the actual effects of putting that together, crystallizing it, and then coursify. I love what Bobby said, coursifying it, productizing it, making it a product for the marketplace is absolutely different than what you think it is. Completely different than what you think it is. A lot of people say, you know, Sean, we need to learn the branding. We need the branded like a leader piece. We got to understand what the branding is. This is a small ticket item for you to take a bite-sized sample of what that would actually look like. You're going to need it one way or the other. Brand clarity is what will take you from unmonetized to monetized, unproductized to productized, and unrecognized to recognized in the marketplace. That's the first thing I did, Bobby. The first thing I did was I branded me, right? I had extreme clarity on the brand. I said, oh, okay, yeah, I know what we're going to do. Because if you remember, I said I started this in college. I said there's a gap in leadership. There needs to be a new face in leadership. So I had extreme clarity. And then I said, okay, everybody's doing this. Everybody sounds like this. Everybody dresses like this. Here we go. What's different? White shirt, red tie. Clean cut. That's brand clarity. So as soon as I touched the marketplace from the very first live, people said, there's something different. Yeah. There's something different about him. So if you want to find out what's different about you,
yeah,
you'll find it in brand clarity. If you want to find out what the science behind color psychology is and how to implement that into your brand, into your business, into your appearance, into the difference that you make, the differentiation, brand clarity. The difference in the way you speak. Are you motivational? Are you educational? Are you entertaining? How do you come across? What are people's interpretation of you?
Yeah.
What do you sell? What do you sell? What do you stand for? Are you low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket?
Yeah.
All of that is brand clarity. Who your ideal client is. Do you speak to the the poor and the downtrodden, or do you speak to the MBAs of the world? Listen, guys, do you want to monetize or hypothesize? That's the question. And that's where brand clarity comes in. We're going to take you from hypothesizing to monetizing. Listen, guys, I promise you, when I say that we don't do low ticket, if you've been following me at all, you know that we don't do low ticket. I'm about to remove that link in a moment. So if you haven't clicked on it or put it in your browser yet, do it. This will be gone after this break. Let's grow. Business is like a game of chess. It's not checkers. If you don't know how to lead with a personal brand, then you're losing the battle.
Everything about Sean's talk was fantastic. I mean, I got so much from it.
So he was really bringing fire and passion and just love and spirit to let everybody else know how do you become a leader amongst the leaders.
You hold the key in your hand. There is more power in this phone than there was that took the first man to the moon.
His energy, his dynamic information, gave a really great presentation.
I didn't ask for any money. I didn't have an offer. I had a heart to help people and meet them where they were at and find their need and fulfill it.
Sean is the bomb.
I don't talk theory. I don't talk hyperbole. I don't talk opinion. Nothing I talk is anything but evidence-based.
During the G Circle retreat in Atlanta, I had the pleasure and the honor of listening to Mr. Sean Raiz. He will not only impact your organization, but he will elevate your team to another level.
When you change you, when you put you into the equation, the whole system is different. I guarantee you, you got the right thing. You are the right person. If you can present yourself in the best way possible, there's no negotiation.
His energy is infectious, and I have so many takeaways from the presentation that I can't wait to get started and implement them today to see the result.
In brand clarity, exactly what you're going to get is what it sounds like. Clarity for your brand. What is your color? What is your logo? What is your unique value proposition? Who are you speaking to? Why? How should you speak to them? How should I position myself? That's what you're going to learn in brand clarity. You need other people to have the same clarity on your brand that you do. But this is the gap. If you don't have clarity on your brand, then no one else is going to have clarity on your brand either. It's like messaging. Your message sounds clear to you, but is your end user receiving the value that you're trying to provide? I guarantee you that after you go through brand clarity, they will, and so will you. And that's how you'll scale your brand. All right. There it is.
It's gone.
Just like that. Just like that. So brand clarity, guys. Do you have it? Do you know what it is? And if you do, then you're on the right side of the equation. You're on the right side of the business and the money equation.
Yeah. I wrote down something I think is pretty profound for a lot of people. I've been thinking back over the years of being under your tutelage and just what it takes to be coachable. And I just want to share some things with the people because this is going to help you. A lot of people get a coach that knows course creation, but does not understand course correction. And what you want is you want a coach that's going to do course correction and not just course creation. Now, this is my experience. And I just want to give you guys some insights here. So many of us don't know how to take a course. And that's because we've never taken a course. For me, I was fortunate enough to go to the military. So I've been taking courses on ranking up. I've been taking courses on becoming certified in ABC. So I knew how to take a course. And most people get access, but they don't get assessed. And when you're in the military, a rank might get you access. When you're taking a course, the payment, the investment will get you access, but the commitment gets you assessed. The willingness to progress gets you assessed. So if you only get access, that means, hey, I've got the rank. And if you get the rank and you go into a program, they say this all the time: you get out what you put in. So it's like, we're not going to micromanage you. You're a Marine or you're a soldier. In business, it's the same thing. If you come into a course, no one's going to micromanage you. And most people come from an employee state where they give you an employee handbook. They give you 3 or 4 middle managers to look over your shoulder. And then when one thing goes wrong, you're called into the office and you're just used to having so much hands-on attention. And if you're in a certain mindset, you think that's good. And I'm not saying that, it's bad. I'm just saying that in business, no one's really going to hold your hand like that. So if you don't know how to get access and then become assessed through the process, then you'll likely get someone who knows course creation and not course correction, because you're not making a large enough investment to stay there long enough to be assessed. And I'll end with this. The bigger the investment, most times the longer the contractual period. So sometimes we'll just get access to a course that we can take in a week. Nothing wrong with that. But who's assessing your progress? Who's assessing your application? Who's assessing your improvements? And if you're not in a program long enough to be assessed after you've acquired access, then you're probably not going to see the results needed to take it to the next level. So I just wanted to share that. Like, there's a way to take a course and actually get results, in my personal experience.
What you're looking for is actionability. That's what you're looking for in one word: actionability. The ability to actualize what you know. If you're here, you have the education, the experience, and the expertise. You have the skill set. You also have the will set. What you need is the application set, the know-how on how to apply it to the marketplace so that you can monetize it. Monetizing your mindset, monetizing your skill set, monetizing your education. That's the gap that people have. I spoke to someone yesterday, master's degree, multiple degrees, 6-figure salary, already, a high ranking position within their organization. But when it comes to doing the code shift, when it comes to making it actionable on their own without leads being delivered to them, there's a gap that exists. There is a gap that exists. And the gap that exists largely is clarity. Clarity on your brand, clarity on who you serve, clarity on how you serve them, clarity on the customer's journey, right? So what we are addicted to content. We're addicted to content. Every time you pick up the phone, content. More information overload, information overwhelm. But when it comes to application, none of it. When it comes to how do I apply this in the marketplace, like a paint by numbers blueprint, it's unactionable. Sounds great, very motivating, very inspiring, sounds good, gives you a great feeling. But when it comes to results and actionable income, there's a gap. There's a gap. Because all you did really was pick up content or information and not context or application. That's what's missing, the actionability. And a part of the actionability comes with what Bobby was just talking about, which is accountability. It's hard to become actionable if you're not accountable. Very hard to become actionable if you're not accountable. And this is evidence-based, guys. This is everything that I do is based on science, research, and practical application with results. It's been vetted, tested, and proven to be true. It's not hypothetical. It's not some feely good stuff. It's really on some like take it or leave it. That's up to you. However, people that know it will continue to scale their businesses, will continue to hire more people, and will continue to grow their revenue. Those who, thumb their nose at it will continue to wonder why they are successful and they're not, and they'll begin to think that people are part of the Illuminati or something. Because some people are just crushing it and making it look easy, and other people are not so much. It's really not the Rubik's Cube that you think it is. It's action items. It's being accountable. It's being a part of something, being a part of a community that holds you accountable and shows you exactly how to apply that which you already know.
And when I think about some of the calls, because I go through Branded Like a Leader to this day, I go through Closing Like a Leader to this day. And one thing that is very beneficial is seeing what other people are going through, because sometimes you don't know the question to ask. And there's calls where the opening of the call will be a Q&A, like we'll just be talking. And Sean will be answering questions for different people at different situations. And if you know the term serendipity, what that simply means is that different things will start to connect from various different places. So you'll hear one person with an issue, then you'll hear another person with an issue, and then you'll be thinking about your issue, and then boom, it'll click for you. And it's like, whoa, okay. And that only really happens when people have different experiences, different disciplines, and are attacking the same problem from different angles, and then it clicks. And scientifically, that's how the brain works. The brain is a connector, and it connects different ideas. And sometimes we just don't have a community. And if you don't have a community, it's really hard for you to see enough different angles of the same problem to give you an immediate breakthrough. So I'll say that again, like there is inertia, right? There's momentum. So you have a train of thought and you're going in one direction and you think that this is the only way you are going to arrive. And that's very logical. Like we get tunnel vision. But here's the thing about community. And if you do this right, so many different people have the same problem. We're all in Branded Like a Leader, the same course for the same thing. We're all in Closing Like a Leader, the same course for the same thing. So what's ending up happening is we're all trying to close more deals, get better brand clarity. So we're coming at it from multiple angles. And I say that to really drive this point home. When you have more people coming in from different angles and you actually get to hear their challenge, it creates for you opportunities to ask better questions. And the quality of your question determines the quality of your answer. And these are the hidden gems, I think, that are hidden from the naked eye when you're on the outside looking at it. Like you don't know why something is so high ticket until you get in it. And you're like, oh, because I never would have known to ask that question. But on the outside, it's like, how is this $20,000 going to turn into $200,000? Like it's no way. No, like you won't know until you know, because it's such a serendipitous process.
You know, Joe just said, without action steps, coaching can devolve into mere theoretical discussions without any tangible results. And I've seen this over and over again, guys, over and over again, where you're going to different meetings, Zoom, like getting in the Zoom rooms, and you're doomed, right? Because realistically, the only thing that the person who runs the room does is run the room. They don't travel the world. They haven't built a business. They just run the room and basically sell logins. I want you to understand it's a lot deeper than you think. You want to learn from someone who has done the thing that you're looking to do at a super high level. At a super high level, which means adding a 0 to what they've done. And have people who can say, I learned from this person, and this is why I've been able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. So what you're looking for is results. Results. We live in a results economy. Most people live in a time economy. Mindset. Results economy, time economy. time economy from an employee mentality says, as long as I spend enough time doing this, I'll be successful. The results economy says, what if the thing that you're doing is actually wrong?
Yeah.
The results economy says, what if the thing that you're doing is actually wrong? It doesn't make a difference how long you spend doing the wrong thing. It will never work. It just won't, because it's the wrong thing. So what you need to figure out is how to do the right thing, or what the right thing to do is, so you could spend less time, less effort, and get more results. There's a word for this phenomenal, this phenom that I'm talking. There's a word for this, and the word is leverage. You want to have leverage, the ability to collapse decades in 2 days, to make your yearly income monthly, your monthly income weekly, and your weekly income daily, by applying less force and getting more results in the same time frame. That's alchemy, or leverage. As a matter of fact, it's leadership leverage.
I think about all the different people that I've met in these communities, and the leadership leverage is one of the most impactful communities, because I had 2 kids in the time span of being in that program. And I want to share something with you all. Business is a spiritual game. Like, and you guys have heard Sean say that before, but I want to, just lean into this a little bit. I had my first kid, or like my first biological kid, because I do have a blended family. And I was building the business, I was in college, and I was in the military, and I was figuring out marriage. And ladies and gentlemen, if I did not have someone help me leverage my leadership, it was down, baby. It would have been over, like over. And me and my wife didn't waste any time. I don't know if we thought we were dying early or what, but it was like first baby, 9 months later, next baby. We didn't waste any time. So now I'm like, wait, I didn't even have any time to raise this one, to get my feet under this one. And I was still in the leadership leverage. And I say this to say that everybody's burden is the heaviest when you're bearing it. But it's something very important and powerful about hearing other people say, I've survived cancer, I've survived some strokes, I've got my son that I'm doing this, I went through that, and I'm making it. I'd be like, you go, and I'm going to make it too. And then you hear someone else say that, I just lost a loved one, I got this going on, I got that going on, and I'm not stopping. I'm like, yeah, that's right, me neither. And you just keep on going. So another thing about leadership leverage, and this also comes from my military background as well, is that when you have camaraderie and you have real energy, like there's another thing that we would say when we come into the room, what's the energy in the room? That was a real question every time. So if you were at a 5 or a 6 or a 7, the intro would last until everybody's at a 10. And you have no idea how powerful that is when you are running out of money, running out of time, running on fumes, trying to figure it out. You're like, I'm on a 2. What do you mean? I'm on a 2. And it's like, okay, great. We're about to get you up. We're about to get you up. And before you leave that call, you're better for your family. You're better for your college. You're better for your community. You're better for your business. You're better for your customers and your clients, because you were in a community that had the right energy. So leadership leverage for me, it saved my life and my marriage. 2 kids back to back while building the business, in the military and going to college. It saved my life.
Wow. Sometimes when I hear people talk, you don't even know like the ramifications of the impact that you have. But let me take it all back to the foundation. When I was in college and I was choosing a major, I looked at the majors and I said, okay, I want to make this amount of revenue so I can free my wife from her job. Listen to the correlations. Just listen to the correlations. I said, I want to be able to free my wife from her job. So I got to take a specific specialization in order to do that. And I looked at psychology and I looked at the highest paid occupations. The first was a psychiatrist. The second one was a psychologist, or the psychologist and the psychiatrist. Sometimes like different years, they'll go back and forth. Like one day, one time, this one will be paid more than the other time. This one will be paid more. And what that was the person who basically prescribed the drugs and the person who dispensed the drugs. And I remember laughing to myself and, saying to my wife, if I wanted to sell drugs, I'd just go back to Harlem. I didn't go to college to sell drugs. I don't agree with it. And I'm not saying, medical managed whatever doesn't work. That's not what I'm saying. It's not political. It's not a political statement. It's a MVP statement. My morals, values, and principles did not align with that occupation. But there was a third option. And the third option was industrial and organizational psychology, which is business psychology. And the decision I made then is about 10 years. We're running on, this is the decade that I made the decision. A decade has passed since I made that decision. Industrial and organizational psychology, business psychology, the psychology of organizational development and high performers inside of organizational settings. That was a decision that I made 10 years ago. And it changed everything. It changed everything. It took what I thought might be true into what was really true. It took something that was in my mind to something that was in my hand. Something that was theoretical or hypothetical, and made it applicable. Not only did it make it applicable, but it made it accessible to other people. So now Bobby was able to go through the same cycle. And he's not the only one. Anyone who has come through this process and paid attention to the process and been coachable and been vulnerable and been honest about where they're starting, what their true challenges are, and then took the action items that I gave them when I made it actionable for them, actually took the steps and withstood the torrential downpour that you'll have to withstand building a business, have come out the other side golden. Golden, with not only money added, with not only freedom added, but actual children added because you can now afford them. Like, you don't understand what that means and what that is. And if you're really trying to help somebody, if you're really trying to build something, if you're really trying to change the world, if you believe that you have something inside of you that was meant to get out of you, that could help you and help other people, it all begins with brand clarity. I had clarity at that moment. I said, okay, I'm not going to do one of either of these two options. I'm going to take the third option and I'm going to stand on it. When I went into the curriculums of industrial and organizational psychology, I saw words and the application of words and concepts that I had never been introduced to. Executive coaching, succession planning, leadership development. These are concepts that were foreign to me because of where I came from. And it was that moment that the kind of like the heavens opened up or the clouds parted and I could see the light. And I said, there's a gap. There's a gap in leadership. It shines on some, but it doesn't shine on all. There's a demographic that doesn't see this teaching, doesn't get access to this training. And I said, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to steal fire and take it to the people that don't have it. I had a purpose at that point. That purpose fired me up. I became passionate. Leverage exists at the intersection of purpose and passion. When your project entails both purpose and passion, that's when you'll become profitable. This is the Breakfast with the Brand. We'll be here again, same time, same place tomorrow to give you more action items that you can use to grow your business. Shh, it's not motivation. Shh, it's not information. It's evidence-based education that has application. It will work if you work it. Let's grow.